The morning we've all been waiting for. How y'all doing today? What's going on today? Let me make sure. Make sure we're about to get into this conversation. So yes, we're about to have this conversation today. Much awaited, much needed conversation. I know you guys have seen me comment on some of some interviews that Akon has done lately. So he reached out. He wrote on the post, said, I think we should go live about this, because he wasn't ashamed to speak about it. And I said, okay. I accepted his request. So now I'm just waiting for him now. He said he would be ready at 7, so I'm waiting for him now. But yeah, this is a much needed conversation, man. Just trying to get some clarity, man. I think for the most part we all want to get some clarity, I think we've all are fans, pretty much fans of Akon. I'm just trying to figure out if y'all know where you at. Tell them to send me a request so we can get this on. So just waiting for him to tune in. This should be a very interesting conversation, to say the least. Very informative. I think a lot of us, really want to know what is Akon's point of view, like real perspective, because you just get an interview. So I think us, Trey, what up? Shout out to my brother Trey. Trey the Truth, man. We working on the album right now. That's crazy. As soon as I finish this live, we're going to knock out about 5 songs. But I think we really just trying to figure out Khan's point of view. Okay, there you go. He's here. Let's get ready. Just sent him a request to add on. Did you send it to him? Come on, I hate Instagram sometimes. Why isn't this shit doing it? What the fuck is going on there? It's not letting me see. What the fuck is going on? Lord have mercy. Are y'all trying to hate on my... What the fuck is going on? It's not letting me accept. I'm trying to figure out why not. It will not let me request nothing. It's letting me do everything but accept the request. Somebody tell Akon to write something on the page so I can accept it that way. Because it won't let me do it. Akon, write something on the page so I can accept you that way. Because it will not let me get to the request. It's letting me do everything but even view the request. Write something on the screen so I can accept you that way. Okay. There you. It might work. Well, there you go. This might work.
I see you got it together.
Yeah, man. I think they was trying to hate on us. How you doing today, brother? First and foremost, how you feeling today?
Oh, I'm sorry, my brother. Yeah, I'm feeling amazing, man.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure that you're all right, man. I just want to, because
Yeah.
even though I don't agree with you, I definitely respect you as an individual.
No,
You,
1,000%.
I respect the work you've been doing, and you got some of my favorite songs that I probably, I don't know if you remember or if even Gabi told you when you first did the Locked Up song, Gabi, because Gabi's from my hood,
Right.
and Gabi reached out to me when I was locked up. I was in Sing Sing, and Gabi was like, "Yo, I want you to get on this song. Like, I don't know if you know Akon's. I ain't here. I was already in my bid probably like 2 years by that time, and he had sent me the beat and everything. I actually wrote to it, and I was trying to send it out, but I couldn't record it inside the cell, so I tried to do it over the phone. And then like probably a couple of weeks later, you had already had Styles on it because he wanted me to do it, and he was gonna try to present it to you. So
Now, it definitely was possible because we was all working from different angles at that time. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
no, everything though, my son, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your opinion. I think
hmm
what we need in a lot of ways is always times communication because when people are having conversations is one thing, but when they hearing conversations, everybody interpret conversation different. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's a difference in cultures, and I also that, but it's a big difference in generation. And I think what a lot of generation is missing is people like myself, like yourself, but not from a critiquing standpoint, but more from an information standpoint. Because what I started to realize is I got back, right? Because I was in Africa for the last 7 years, I think. I got,
okay,
as I was moving, I was away from music. I was more working on the Afrobeat scene on that side, mentoring kids over there, giving them the tools they need to kind of, get the Afrobeat scene moving. When I came back, the hip hop scene was totally different. The morale of the kids here was totally different. The sound of it was totally different. And I realized that my generation music or my generation hip hop was slowly like diversifying into business, right? And stepping a little bit away from the music side of it. But this generation had attached themselves to something far more greater than we ever had, and that was digital platforms. And
hmm
I think it's a lot that's happening, and I think me and you will have plenty of time to discuss it throughout this whole time that we got. Because like I told you, once I was available for you, I'm gonna give you all the time you need, so that way both perspectives is clear. You feel me?
that is beautiful, and I appreciate that, man. And that brings me to one of my main issues. When you say morale, right? Does that mean morality of music? Does it just the energy is different? Because for me, right, I think the issue is for me when I listen to you on numerous interviews. I didn't just listen to one. I heard the interview you did with who I now know is your sister. I
Right.
heard the interview that you did on the show. They actually reached out to me. I was supposed to do an interview with them today, but I was running around. I'm actually in Kentucky. Wait, before we start this, let me say, arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. I just
Right.
make sure we understand. I'm in
Nah.
Kentucky right now. We're planning major action, so I just want to make sure, even though we have conversations about hip hop and all, that's pretty much the most important thing in my life right now is getting justice for Breonna Taylor. So I just wanted to make sure I stated that off the rip. But so I watched all of these interviews that you had, and for me, it seems as if you made a conscious decision to abandon integrity and morality for business. Or you
That's
you you or you okay, you made what it sounds like. You saying you
that,
you
that
you
it depends on the person hearing it and what their translation of those words mean. So now, just so you know, I've always played from the moment I walked in. I played the neutral position. I don't play either side. I don't
what is
say Shotty and his crew was innocent or guilty. I don't say Tekashi was innocent or guilty, right? So mind
not really,
sides.
because when you are to, because you made a decision that what he did is okay based on what you saying they did. So you've already, if you saying you don't play either side and you say, yo, but they did this and that and they did this, so fuck that, I'm gonna do this. So that means that you made a decision that you believe that they did something wrong to him and he's justified. So you took a side.
See, this is the part. It wasn't a matter of who did right or who did wrong. It was the principle of the whole action in itself. All right, prime
But
example.
even if
No,
but I
we
have
don't
to
get
be,
to it.
I'm,
We
I'm,
don't
I'm,
get.
I'm gonna let you finish, but you have to be clear. If you saying the action in itself, that means that you believe that the action that they did was wrong. What action in itself? You said the action in itself. If you saying
Wait,
that you that what they did
wait,
is wrong, then you've
you talking
taken a.
his co-defendants?
Say that
Because
again.
there's two actions here. You got
Okay.
Tekashi's and then you got his co-defendants' actions.
Okay. So which action are you talking about?
First, because they're gonna both be a topic.
Okay, so tell me which action you would like to speak about first.
And I was talking about was in general. We was because
Well, you can't say in general. There has to be an action.
yeah. So
You just you gave me two different actions. So when you
it
say in
start
general,
with
what?
no. What I'm saying is it has to start with a general conversation, right? Once you have that general conversation, then there's partitions of the conversation that we have to break it down one by one. Once we break it all down, then you will understand exactly my point. You follow what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because any so-called real nigga or real gangster for that matter will understand exactly what I'm talking about. So let's say hypothetically, this is the situation. Let me give you a scenario and let's start with that scenario.
Okay.
Why is Tekashi so important right now? Do you think that his
Open that up.
situation
It
specifically is
depends.
so? Oh,
It
I'm
depends.
sorry. Yeah, the thing is when you talk, I can't hear you when I'm talking at the same time. So I'm just gonna stop and allow you to say something.
So you just asked the question, so I was trying to respond to the question. You said, "Why is
Okay.
Tekashi?"
Why is Tekashi so important?
And I said, "I don't believe he is." You have to ask certain people, and I think you'll get different answers from certain people. Some people don't think he's important at all.
I would disagree with that because the numbers say opposite, and I think this is probably the most talked about situation in music history when it comes to hip hop music. And I was just curious to understand why Tekashi and not any other rapper that's been in a situation like this.
Can you name another rapper that's been in a situation like this?
I mean, we all been in conflicts. We all been in shootouts. We all been in robberies. We all been in crime-related incidents. And me naming other rappers that's been in specific situations like Tekashi ain't really my place to say that. But what I would like to say though is, if Tekashi is the conversation right now, there has to be a reason why it's so potent and why it's so important and why everybody's so emotional about it, right? So, in your I can respect everything you said,
Mm-hmm.
and you are right because you came from a generation that lived by that exact code that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, and I'm with you. I promise you, on everything God knows, Allah knows, I'm with you when you say the things you said in the way you believe it. Now, me, I've grown since that time that I sat and wore the shoes you're wearing today, and what I realize is that it's a bigger picture than just telling or what we call snitching.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at 6ix9ine, and you might disagree when I tell you this, I feel that he's being victimized right now, right? And the reason why I say that is we're expecting him to understand codes that he never lived under. We're expecting him to live by a code that he never ever was a part of in the first place. We're expecting him to understand the rules of engagement in the streets when he's not a street guy. We're expecting him to follow all the rules of the things that the people around him should have brought to his attention or should have taught him before he got into it. Now, clearly he's an entertainer. He gonna say all kind of reckless shit. He's doing it right now, right? But what entertainer you know ain't gonna do that? 50 Cent did that same shit Tekashi doing 10 years ago,
But see that
right? as far as I'm talking about being antagonizing.
Can I
You
say
fuck,
something? What I want, and I hear what you're saying. I don't, because I don't want to cut. I don't want to cut you off because it lags in and out. But there are a couple of things that I would like to respond to. First, 50 Cent was actually a street nigga. 50 Cent was. No, listen
right.
to what I'm.
But let me
You've
finish.
been
You finish.
giving examples, right? And I've been
Mm-hmm.
listening to examples about people that did what he's doing, and you compare him, like you say, yo, like you was talking about gang culture. You say gang culture is gonna attract gang people. You know, when Game came out, he was for gangbangers. Game was a gangbanger. When Snoop
Right.
came out for gang,
Right.
he was a gangbanger. You
All right.
said
But
when
Mike,
NWO,
but
let me
Mike,
just NWO, let me just say, let
all
me
right, but
finish.
right, just on that part. And the reason why I understand you and I know why you feel like that, because you're a rapper yourself and you are also a street nigga. We all know. I know your history, my nigga. You're a real street nigga. You done did your time. You did what you had to do, and you lived and you took hip hop from a standpoint of your real life situations. Hip hop was not only a vehicle for you, but it was a lifestyle to you. So I know why you feel that way. This generation, this hip hop ain't no lifestyle for them, bro. They don't know about half the shit. Most of the people that's talking street ain't never been in the street. Most of them ain't real street niggas. So we can't categorize them to be one.
But that's what I'm trying to explain to you, right? If you go outside, right, and you
Right.
take a gun, run in the bank, and you say, and you ain't a bank robber,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Right.
going to hell, Akon. They don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. They don't listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Look, I'm not gonna ask you, yo, are you really a bank robber? Like, who did you learn how to rob banks? It's the same rules apply. Listen to me. If you can't fight, right, and
Right.
you jump in the ring with a nigga who can fight real good, and you throw
Right.
on gloves, he gonna beat the shit out of you. Nobody's gonna say, yo, how many lives have you practiced? Are you really a boxer? What I'm trying to explain to you, this man jumped into a field, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he did all the shit that the real gangster niggas do. They call you out. They say, I'm gonna come to your block. I'm gonna do this to you. I'm gonna do that. He called out everybody. He told niggas to suck his dick. He said, when men sat him down respectfully and said, yo, brother, you bugging out. I watched the interview. Charlamagne said, yo, you gonna die or go to jail, beloved. Like, you putting yourself in real. And he said, fuck that. I'm street. I'm this nigga. I'ma handle this and I'ma do this. He had niggas shooting Chief Keef and these niggas. These niggas is body. They catching bodies in Chicago. They not playing. He going to Chicago in the middle of the street. He not only putting his life in jeopardy, he put everybody who went with him, and they knew he was, but and this is for me, right? When they say that these people stood and protected him against real street niggas that they know probably would have took their life and stood up beside that man.
Bro,
Stood,
if they was
take
protecting him,
bullet.
but what I'm saying is if they was protecting him, first of all, he wouldn't have got that close to the street. Real street niggas know the fucking they know the nigga, they know the consequences of what that is. So if you're protecting him, you ain't gonna have him that close to the street. Period. And the part I think, honestly, that I think the world is missing, and specifically this conversation, is that this is entertainment. In real life, we're not going to rob no bank because we know we're gonna goddamn get caught.
Yo,
In real life, no, hold on. I'll let you talk now. I ain't stop you. When you said the bank robber thing, you're right. But that's in real life, bro. This is fake. This is entertainment. This is not real. We are in the music business.
Con, can I ask you a quick?
But this is what I'm saying. This is nigga. We in here to make money, get rich, and die. We're not in here to get killed early before we get to the bag. Who does real things on real life and social media on TV for everybody to see? Who does that, my son?
What I'm trying to explain to you, right? I just because to me, like, so listen to me. If based on what you saying, right? Tekashi should have been able to go to the judge and said, "No, none of this shit is real. These
No,
bodies."
Tekashi
No,
in
listen.
front of
You
us.
said, listen to what I'm
Tekashi
saying. You
in
told me.
front of
No,
us.
no. I'll let you talk. I just want to know, based on what you said, Con, to, to go to the judge and say, "Hey, this is all entertainment. We didn't really shoot at them people. None of this shit that I'm being locked up for, that you trying to give me 40 or 50 years, none of that shit ever really happened. This entertainment for the cameras, for social media." Did that shit work with the judge? Did the judge, did him saying that he was entertaining somebody stop people from getting, did he, he didn't, when he sat on that cell, and and another thing is, that man told on people that ain't have shit to do with it. Like he was saying, yo, Cardi B, you know Cardi B does this, and yeah, Jim Jones. Like this man bought niggas that never even really talked to him in the streets. Never seen like this.
Listen, I agree with you. I agree with you. But this is the thing. Tekashi ain't never denied that he was a snitch. He owned up to the fact that he was a snitch. He ain't denied. He said,
listen, you got my point. Con, you got my point, right? So
right.
I don't even talk about Tekashi. I haven't. When he first came, I knew he was going to do this when it first happened, and because I've been in the streets, I know a real nigga. I knew he wasn't going to stand up. So cool, I said it. I said I told you. I left it alone. He came home. I didn't even respond. I was angry. The only time I respond, Akon, was when Nicki Minaj did a song with him, and then you let this man remake one of my favorite songs, a stand-up nigga song, not just any song. I would have been mad at you because I respect you on a different level. I seen you as one of me. You understand what I'm saying? It was like me seeing my homeboy walking around with Alpo, like a nigga that I fuck with in Harlem walking around with Alpo. I don't really give a fuck about Alpo. I said he a snitch. I'm done with him. I don't really care about him. And I'm not trying to run around. I'm not angry at you. You a snitch. You've been categorized as you are. Whether you move around, cool. Do that shit with the creeps. But listen to me. Let me finish. But when it's somebody that I respect, somebody that I seen, like you said, you on the same shit that I am, you can't be on the same shit that I am because there's no way on God. I don't give a fuck how much money they offered me. I don't give a fuck how much entertainment they are. There's no way on God's green earth that I would ever allow Tekashi 6ix9ine to do anything with me. Anything. Right. I wouldn't on him if he was on fire.
Those are words from a street nigga. And I respect that. Right? As a nigga that was a
real nigga. Listen to me. Niggas that ain't in the streets, that never been there, but they just know integrity. It's not about streets, it's integrity. The man lacks integrity. You see this? It's character is currency. The man lacks character.
Listen, we follow the same code. I believe in character is currency.
I don't listen to me. At this point, I'm listening.
I don't want to leave
the same code. I'm not saying not to diminish you. We can't follow the same code because the code I live by, I can't do nothing with that man.
All right, but that's fine. That's you. It's okay.
But we don't follow the same code. I'm just trying to clarify that because there's no way I can't do nothing with it.
My son, explain something to you. This code that everybody talk about, that only maybe 1% of niggas out in the streets actually follow, don't mean shit to me.
But
I'm not.
You said that we follow the code.
But let's be clear though. Let's be clear.
All right.
I grew up, yes, in fucked up situations, been through some fucked up, scenarios, might have done some crimes here and there to survive and feed my family, but I'm not a street nigga, my nigga. Now, I'm going to defend myself if a nigga try me a certain kind of way, but that's just me being a man defending myself. What people call street nigga and this code that's attached, it's all bullshit. What I'm trying to say is, as a man with real integrity, there's going to be things that you follow as a person. And I think when people start trying to categorize a street, that and this is just what you categorize themselves in as far as what the environment they came from. So when you try to tag that on somebody that didn't come up like that, or tag that on somebody that don't understand that until they're around people that do, it's not his fault for being misled. That's all I'm trying to
And I hear what you're saying, right? This is what I'm trying to say. You saying that this code I'm no longer a street nigga either. I've been out the streets for years. I did 7 years in prison. I came home. I've changed my life around. I'm a civil rights activist. I'm an anti-violence. I work with young kids in the street. And this is another thing that I want you to understand. Not only is he a rat, he's just bad for the culture in general. Like let me just say
the culture. Like,
real quick.
See, the introduction to the culture was wrong. He came in through the wrong side with the wrong information. And this is what all the generation is going through, bro. And guess what? He ain't going to be the first or the last.
Can I say something? Can I say this one?
And people that understand what this is to give them that. Because half of them didn't have nobody to give them that. I came up with OGs that made them understand how this shit works.
Can I say? Can I say
Go ahead.
something to you? I
Go
just
ahead.
because you cut me off. I let you talk. You not let me get my point across. So I just want to get 2 points across, right?
You're
You
right.
saying that this thing that's attached, this code that's attached to the streets. I'm no longer streets. I have a code of ethics and integrity as a man. I have a
Right.
moral compass as a man. My moral
Absolutely.
is if I do something, I want to be held accountable, and I'm gonna deal with I'm gonna be accountable to me as a man. That it has nothing to do with streets. And I know a bunch of people that has never done a street shit in their life, but that's how they live their life, right?
Right.
So that's one, right? So to me, it's a code of conduct as a man that man, his moral compass does not agree with mine, right? So what I also want to say is when we was talking about, this man just came home from prison where he was facing a bunch of time, was
Mm-hmm.
crying, said he home to his family. He told on them. You did all of that shit, right? To come back with the same attitude. Your moral compass and what you represent totally goes against who I am as a man.
Right.
On the money, there's no amount of fame. I don't give a fuck how many streams you got. I don't want nothing to do with that individual as a man because my moral compass and my kids is watching me. I don't want this person around my kids. I don't want my wife. I don't want nobody that I respect and love to see me attach myself to somebody of that low caliber.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with street nigga.
Right. So, with that being said, you're right. His behavior today, it could be a little bit more sensitive, but he's defending himself from everybody attacking him too, bro. You gotta understand that part. So it ain't just because he's doing all this because I mean he is being attacked and he ain't no punk. He gonna fight back.
But no,
So
he is. See, that's what your car. We confused the man. The punk, he ain't gonna fight back. Because if he's gonna fight back, he would have fought the case. Khan, he didn't fight the case. He
but
ain't gonna
listen,
fight back. He
but
didn't
do you know
fight.
all but do you know all that was attached to this case though?
What? Tell me what I'm missing.
Did you know that this man was kidnapped by them same niggas that's supposed to protect him?
Listen to me.
No, this man
That
was nigga.
that
They tried to kill this
listen.
man.
Yeah, you know how many niggas I know that was kidnapped in the streets? That's part of the streets.
But what I'm saying is, see everything you're saying. I agree with you up until the point. There's a point where their street code don't exist.
You keep
Street code,
taking. Oh, I
no.
already told you. I go
Well,
by man code. This shit.
there's a point. There's a point where loyalty no longer exists. If I'm
Listen,
riding, if no, no,
listen.
listen, just understand me, right? And what I'm doing right now, just to be very clear, I'm playing the devil's advocate because nobody seems to want to have that conversation or the hard side of both sides for us to think it out, talk it through. Because if one person says something in defense or somebody say something in credit of someone else, they naturally like my integrity as a man, as a person, I don't need other people to validate who and what I am, right? But at the end of the day, if I see that there's unbalanced information, I may say some things you may not quite agree with, but that don't make it my character as a person and as a man. I'm just saying is, what if this situation or scenario ended this way and you was in it? Would you make the same decision knowing all the characteristics?
I would listen to what I'm. Let me
Now,
explain something. So
now, okay, no, say it and then say it, then let me give you a scenario and then you tell me if that's gonna be the same answer you give me.
this right. I was in the streets, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I got locked up for a crime I didn't do.
Right,
But crimes, I probably got locked up, and I probably knew the person who did it.
right,
But the reality of what comes with the streets, right, is the days that I got away for the shit that that I ran away and I got away. They probably locked somebody up for the same crime I did. Right? Somebody probably they got away. I got away a couple of times. They snatched the nigga the wrong. That comes with the street game, right? You
right,
can't profit off a lifestyle and a reality. And then when it's time for the consequences, you don't want to deal with those consequences.
and I agree with you.
A
I
man,
agree.
and that's what I'm trying to tell you. So me, whatever came with me, I didn't go and say, yo, this person did this. I took my time like a man. I went to trial. I knew what was going on, and I took my time and I sat down like a man. And I
Right,
came at the peak of my career when I was about to be the fucking next biggest thing. I sat down and did my time like a man. Never blamed nobody. Never cried. I did what I was supposed to do because I understand that's what comes with this shit.
Right, but you a street nigga. You understand that.
Me a street, no, you know, listen to me,
So,
before, no. Before the word street nigga came, Con, it was just being a real nigga. I don't know no street nigga.
okay,
I was just,
now let me give you a scenario. You come up with a pack of niggas, right?